Hey, what you got to say? Hey. Yeah, we got us a new mold. F1 tall 8-point crystal cluster. So this mold, the mold itself weighs just under 15 ounces. It's pretty heavy. It's a big one, nice and heavy. So it's almost twice the size of all the other molds that I have. So I took it out of the mold off camera because I need to be able to hold it close to me, because this one, I'm going to tell you honestly, it's a little bit harder to get out of the mold. I have RA in my hand, so I don't have a lot of strength. So I'm going to say that it's just going to be tougher to get out. Is it worth the struggle? Well, of course it's worth the struggle. But look at that. Look at the size of that. Hi, Terry. Look at the size of that. That is a nice size. And this is a resin casting made with epoxy A-cast 24-hour epoxy. This is the stuff that's used for making jewelry and lenses for projectors. It's like water when you use it. And it takes 24 hours to form. Now, of course, my casting was made in a pressure pot, and my mold was made in a pressure pot. So there's no bubbles in either one. These are high quality molds. And I really was excited that it came out the way that it has. Um, I did have a little bit of a issue when I was making it. I had a little mishap with the silicone. I didn't seal my mold box correctly, so I had to remold this one, and I have another one. This one is not listed up yet. I still have to make the mold box for it and then make sure that it comes out. So I've been working on a couple new ones, and of course I have this other new one, the big chunky crystal. I'll be casting that one tonight with the epoxy. And of course, this is the gigantic mother of them all, which I can only make resin castings from because I didn't own the crystal that I used. And I had to give it back. So at some point, I hope to either get another crystal that size, or maybe the person will change their mind, but they wanted their crystal back. So I had to give it back. So I'm only making resin castings of that big one. And I did give them the big resin casting that I made last week. And I just have to cast another one. So tonight I'm going to make another resin casting. I am going to do the small, I'm going to do the resin ashtray, the crystal ashtray. And I'm going to do another one of these big guys. And I'm going to do the mold. I'm going to build the mold for this one and make sure that that comes out okay. So this one was a little bit hard for me because of my hands. So you stretch the mold, you stretch it and you pull it, you know. And then I took this little guy and I was kind of like prying it up around the sides, just putting this in where there were flat spaces, just to give myself a little bit of leverage. And after doing that, after about, I'd say like 8 minutes, I finally was able to pull this out. So it is listed up on the website. It is a little more pricier than the other molds, but like I said, it uses a lot of product. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. I'm just looking at my Facebook for a second here, seeing if I have any options for the live. It's not giving me any options. Let's see. I'll try to start a watch party on the Facebook for this. So I'm just seeing. I always forget how to do this. Okay. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? I'm just showing off my latest mold that I casted last night. My big, fat, tall crystal cluster. This is the epoxy casting of it. And I do them in pressure pots so that there's no bubbles in them. I love it. So I don't use polished crystals. I use raw crystals. So there are imperfections in my crystals. Like here, there's a dink in the side of this big one. So that's not from my mold. That's what it looks like on the original. See, the original has it in it there, right there. I think it's awesome. This was the one of the first sizes that I did. You see how short that is compared to that one. And then, let's see, this is the A. This was the second one that I did. So it's a lot taller than the second one. This is the B mold. And then this is the C mold. So it's considerably even bigger than that one. And this is the original A mold. So that's a real short cluster. Now this is a real tall one. So it's important for me to put it out here and let people see what I got going on with my new ones. I also have one that I'm working on. I'm not going to show it yet, but it's the original crystal. Cost about $800, and it's a real amazing crystal, which I'm not going to show it or anything. I'm going to wait to make sure that the mold comes out for that one. Hi, Brandon. So yeah, I'm excited about this new one. Really came out fantastic. Took me 8 minutes to get it out of the mold. My hands aren't real strong. So I had at first to get it out, you gotta stretch it around like this a lot to get the air, to get it released a little bit. Yeah, so I'm not, so I'm loving it. Hi, Sharon. Oh, thank you very much, Sharon. This is my new baby. That's the new one listed up on the website, leecranchcreations.com. Just listed that one up. This is the comes out of a pressure pot, the molds and the casting. So I will be listing up the castings for sale too. I sell the resin pieces too if people don't want to buy the mold and mess with all that. I do sell these, so I have to list that up. I only have the mold up right now. I really enjoyed making this. I took a trip. I drove an hour to go get some new crystals, and I spent about an hour or two picking through hundreds of crystals. It's very difficult to find crystals with good tips, and that when you have boxes of them in front of you, it's really hard. But I did pretty good, and the cost of these were, let's see, it's probably about $40 in crystals right here, in just the cluster itself. And I believe these were Pakistan crystals from Pakistan. So I'm very lucky to have a source that gets their crystals from all over the world. So I know exactly where I should be going when I go to get them. It's just a matter of, having the extra money, but I want to keep making really nice crystal molds for everyone. So I need to keep researching and then keep going to visiting the places I know to go to get them. The ones I used to pick out of the mountains with my kids when they were younger, a lot of them they're not perfect. Like I have gigantic, pretty giant ones that I had gotten up on the Broad Mountain and stuff, which is a local mountain to here, not far away. But I believe like bulldozers had hit the vein and loosened them up. So, it takes a little bit for me living up here in the mountains and cold country to get a hold of some really good quality crystals to use. So I'm doing my best. I'm always going to keep my eye out and just keep creating. I designed these. I put them in the style that I have them here and put them together. Love it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm just tagging a few people on the Facebook just in case they're interested in seeing this crystal live while I'm holding it. I think it's easier for people to judge when I'm holding it in my hand. Let's see. Spectacular. Envious of your innovative and outcome even with your hand conditions, arthritis and fibro. Yep. No, I'll tell you, um, I guess it's normal, but for me, it's kind of strange. So when I have to work with these molds constantly and constantly making so many to fill the orders, the muscles in my back from using my hands and my arms and my shoulders start clicking. So I know I have the osteoporosis thing going on too. And so it's amazing, when you're like out of shape and older and you start trying to work with rubber and some nights I'm really exhausted and the pains that I get and the cramps in my back. So I have to have my husband rub my muscles for me because I don't have a choice. I have to keep going. I get a lot of orders. A lot of artists really love what I do, and I'm grateful for that. So I have to keep pushing forward. And so some days I rest longer than others, but I didn't find out how to do all this younger in life. I had 4 kids I was raising, and they would not have been able to be around the epoxies, the resins, and the silicone. So they would have gotten into all that. So it was just, I'm 56 now, so it's time for me to do this. It's a little late in life, but I'm very grateful for it. You know, it gives me a purpose and something to do. And the reviews have been great, and everybody's been really nice. I've only had one person um, be rude, and that was about my YouTube channel because I moved my camera around too much, and it was just, too annoying for them to stay. So they had to make a comment and tell me how they were going to leave to teach me a lesson. So, I won't say what I normally would say, but I'll just laugh, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyone that knows me knows that I'd be saying a few choice things. Yeah, I ship a lot to Australia. I've been shipping quite a lot of orders out to Australia. The average is like, so far the average has been about $38 in shipping um, to get things to there. Yeah, my husband's real supportive of everything I do, and now he knows where to find me. I'm in the chair in the basement in the workshop, but yeah, he's really supportive of. He loves everything that I do, and I just went official and did my 5 filings with the state to make it official LLC and do everything official. And so he's like kind of freaked out that I did it all myself without a lawyer or anyone else. Um, there's a lot we can do, and we don't need all that horse shit. Someone else that did an LLC said to me, "Oh, it cost me $800 to do mine." I said, "Well, it cost me $70 for the name and 125 to file my LLC paper." I said, and the rest was paperwork that I had to do that was free. And the lawyer charged him a ton of money for it. Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's good for us as long as we protect ourselves. Now, I wear nitrile gloves, a goggles, a hazmat suit, and a respirator. And I protect myself because I get chemical burns, and I can't even wear eyeliner anymore since I got the chemical burns. Like anything at all that I put, near my skin or my face, I'm allergic to now, and I can't do it. So I have to completely cover up. And for me, it's worth it. Um, I don't care what any company says about anything. If you can't drink the stuff, it's toxic, you know? So just be careful because it can make you very sick. And I learned the hard way, and my dog learned the hard way. And my dog still has breathing problems from me doing it in my kitchen. And he's not ever going to get rid of that. It's like a permanent scar on his lungs what happened to him. So people need to take that more seriously. But I just I'm 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 having a good time with it. Once in a while I get a little stressed, like a crystal broke earlier off one of my pieces, and once in a while my masters will break, and then I have to repair them. And I had a crystal snap earlier, and I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to repair it. I'm just going to take it off because it's my design. Who's going to know the difference? No one's ever going to know the difference. So I just took it off, and I'll just create without that one little point on there. This one here has 8 points. And that's just a kick-ass crystal. I love that one. The next one is 5 points, but I have to make sure that the silicone is going to come off of this. So I have to do it first. I have to make the mold. I have to get it out of the mold, and then I have to cast it like this and make sure that the whole process through works, because I don't want to put something up on the website that isn't going to work. If I have a crystal that might be on too much of an angle, I might have a difficult time getting it out. Yeah, I know it's hard, and it's strange because we would go shopping every 2 weeks, and I would go into Michael's and just look in the clearance area and just get one or two things for about 3 or 4 years. Every 2 weeks, I would just go to my favorite stores like Michael's and the dollar store, and I would just get little supplies, and I would just save them up and save them up and save them up. And I just figured it was just for my craft stuff. And then a year ago, I discovered doing the resin art, and all those things that I was saving up, I actually use now. So it was crazy. The reason I had to go and do the LLC was because I had to start paying taxes. I hit the tax limit very quickly in a 2 month period, um, with all the orders that came in. And I was not going to be kept up every night wondering if Uncle Sam was going to come knock on my door. So I immediately formed the LLC and opened up the bank account so that everything is spot on, and I'm keeping all my records so I could pay my taxes because I didn't want no problems. I didn't want no issues. I wasn't expecting this to happen, but I did ask my spirit team to give me something that I could sit home in my pajamas and do, and that's exactly what they did. So I'm grateful to have a good support team around me in the spirit world. Yeah, I was a gem and mineral enthusiast because I've been doing healing work for almost 40 years. And so I used all kinds of crystals and gems and rocks with my clients on the healing table. And I would put different gems and stones on top of their chakras, their spiritual centers. And then I would do healing energies over that and call in other healing masters and teachers and guides to come in. And my whole healing room would be filled. And people would have the most powerful healings, and some of them would end up seeing their guides or seeing their loved ones communicating while they were on my table in trance. Like, I'm able to put people into trance. And so yeah, I had a huge background in that. Oh, thanks. um I dabbled here and there into trying to do things throughout my life as far as business goes, and it just, being a mom always came first. And because I was a single mom mostly, I was limited because I had to give them my time. Um so yeah, I've done different things. When I did all my healing work and my healing business and all that stuff, it wasn't a business because I didn't take money for what I did. Once in a while at an event or a festival, I would take a love donation or something like that. Um, but it wasn't something that I really made money at. I performed some weddings. I got paid for performing some weddings, which I don't do anymore. I'm just not really into that. I've married about 13 or 14 couples now, and it's not my thing really. So I don't do it anymore. And I developed into my mediumship. um I only do healing if I'm asked to do healing. I do trance healing though, but where I live, it's far and few between that people have an interest or even know or even care about having someone around them with the knowledge to do things. So most of what I do is online because I'll reach more people with that interest. Just like I don't know anybody around me that does this. So I all my people are from all over the world. So I've been shipping out to India, Australia, Canada, Spain, um, all over the United States already. Um, I have one that's really far away in the, it's called, I don't know, somewhere's in the Euphrates, whatever the Euphrates is. I'm not really good on geography, but yeah, it's definitely my spirit team because I have a seventh grade education. I left home at 14 years old, and I got my GED when I was 33. And so I give all my credit to my spirit team and loved ones on the other side who help me every single day. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I have two books that I wrote, and Amazon does me no justice with royalties on these books, so I rarely get what other authors do get. I don't know why I don't get, but so every 3 months I put them books up for free on Kindle because I'd rather people get my books for free than worry about people buying them. So I have two books. I just had the sale, so I can't do free Kindles for another 3 months. Um, One book's called Angels and Spirits by Denise Lee Cranch, and the first book is called Eyes of the Messenger by Denise Lee. And um, those have a lot of experiences um, that most people don't have, that I found out people didn't have. And I wrote the books because I needed answers. And then eventually I was able to study with real spiritualist teachers from London and different places around the world. So then my questions were answered. And then I began to get the training that I needed for different things. So yeah, I'm not just a mold maker or a mom or a grandmom. Yeah. But it's hard to find people of like mind. So being on the spiritual path is always lonely for people because it's hard to find people who can relate to you. It's hard to find people who even understand what the heck you're talking about. But I appreciate everyone stopping in. Hi, Cheryl Shock. Cheryl, I still have your Christmas present. I am so sorry. I still have a present for you. I'm a bad girl. Spank me later. I'm mesmerized by this new and this resin piece. I mean, if that don't look like a crystal or better, I mean, come on. That's the original. Look at that one. I think it looks the same or even better. If I do say so myself. I just got to make sure it stays flat because it's not completely done setting up. It's a 24-hour epoxy. So I just want to leave it flat. I keep moving it with my hands. And I certainly hope I have my YouTube going. I certainly hope that everyone has been able to see everything on my YouTube um, on camera. I hope. I pray. So I'm going to end the stream on my YouTube. I didn't want to go that long and completely forgot what I was doing. And so check out the website if you want to order this crystal or the resin casting. I'll put the resin casting pictures up tonight with a link for that too. Okay, rock on, make something beautiful. Ciao.